And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're talking about how to get to 10 Bitcoins as fast as humanly possible. Okay, and we're gonna do it using the Men of High Value principles as we always do on this channel. There's three aspects to it. Number one is get fired up about it. Number two, get rid of distractions. And number three, get focused, okay? In order for you to get focused on it, you have to get rid of distractions. But before you'll even start getting rid of distractions, you gotta get fired up outside your brain. That's my job, coming on this channel, helping you to daily remind you, okay? Daily, if you're subscribed to my other channel as well, which is 3 Girls in Love. Because then I come to you every single day, okay? And I remind you and I keep you fired up outside your brain about your long-term perspective and long-term potential of you increasing your power on a daily, continual basis. If you're going to get fired up, you got to understand the times that we're living in, okay? These are the most special times ever, okay? What's going to happen right now in the next few months, maybe years, okay? We don't know when it's going to happen, but there will be the biggest wealth transfer that has ever happened in the history of this world. The reason why is because of the dollar collapse that is impending. You can see from the aspect of how much they print, okay? How much they print these American dollars to the extent of trillions, okay? There was one article that said that they printed more dollars in 1 month, in the month of June or July, than they had in the last 200 years. Okay, so like they totaled up. That's the extent to how much they're actually printing the US dollar. So the collapse of it is going to happen because it's hyperinflation on its way. But it could take some time. Who knows? It could happen in the next few months. It could happen today. It could happen in a few years' time, but the goal is to get ready, to get prepared. But you should be fired up outside your brain about it because you know about the collapse, right? It's the people that know what's happening that can prepare themselves to get into the right assets so that they can hedge themselves against the dollar. Because it's the people who don't know what's going on and who are not researching, who are just freaking out because they've lost their jobs and now they have to, and they're thinking about other stuff. They're thinking about their wife who's leaving them, or they're thinking about girls and partying because they haven't been partying for a few months because of social distancing, etc., etc. You're on the right track because you're actually connected to this channel and knowing what's going on. I study this stuff on a daily basis, and I recommend you do too. Get yourself connected to Mike Maloney, Hidden Secrets of Money. Amazing, okay? Get yourself connected to Ivan on Tech. Get yourself connected to Peter Schiff. Get yourself connected to the people who know what's going on. Get yourself connected to Robert Kiyosaki, etc., etc., etc. All of these people I study on a continual daily basis to understand what's happening with the economy because they focus on this on a daily continual basis, okay? So I'm getting the best possible information from the people that are best in that field. And if you're simply watching my channel, you're getting the updates. So, kinda. So but you can get fired up about that process because you can get prepared. And how do you prepare yourself for a dollar collapse? Is it by putting all of your money in the bank? No, it's not, right? The best way to prepare yourself is to get yourself ready, not financial advice, but having gold, silver, or Bitcoin. Okay, some people would say cash flow producing real estate. Absolutely. But why would you buy real estate now when it's expensive compared to the impending collapse that's going to happen when people are going to be selling their real estate because they have to sell it? During that time, that's the time to pick up the best bargains in real estate, in my opinion. So for now, I would invest in gold, silver, or Bitcoin if I was me. Okay? So you can get fired up about that because what happens when there's the biggest wealth transfer? Then people who are in the dollar or people who have over leveraged themselves too much into unnecessary debt, and they can no longer finance that debt because maybe 30%, 40%, 50% of jobs are gone, leveled to the earth, nothing there. People lose their jobs. They're not able to get, maybe they'll get a handout from the government, but because there's a hyperinflation in the dollar, that money is not going to be worth much, so they can't keep their real estate. Do you understand what I mean? And all their debts that they have, etc. You will be prepared by having your wealth in gold, silver, and Bitcoin. When I say Bitcoin, I say 10 times Bitcoin, because right now 10 times Bitcoin is approximately $110,000. I'm going to stop saying, you should get your wealth up to 100K in dollars in net worth, because that's in a few months' time, maybe a few years' time, that number will become irrelevant. Okay, just in the same sense, in my opinion, that Bitcoin's number of 10x in Bitcoin is going to be irrelevant, because at that point in time, once it massively increases in price, which is what I believe it will, then, 10 times Bitcoin is going to be absolutely awesome, right? Even better than what it is right now. And then if you're thinking about, instead, I could use, if you get 100 kilos of silver or 1.5 kilo of gold, approximately. No, for me personally, those are great assets, gold and silver. Absolutely, they've been there from the beginning of time. But we're living in a digital age, and we're living in a new times where I believe personally that Bitcoin is the best way to store your wealth, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but the reason why, if you study Bitcoin, is one of the most secure networks in the world, and you only have to know your passwords. That's it. If you know your passwords and you've got a hardware wallet that you can disconnect from the internet, so that it's, no one can hack into it because it's not on the internet, then it's safer than having gold and silver, in my opinion. You can have gold and silver, but you have to put it somewhere. You have to have a vault. You have to have, a smart place to put it. When with Bitcoin, if you remember things well, you can have it in your brain. And if you don't, then you just need to put, the passwords in and divide them up into specific places so that it's easy for you to retrieve back the information. Do you understand? You'll always have to hide something, obviously, but man, for me, you can, with Bitcoin, you can transport it across borders. You don't have to carry it with you. People can't come and confiscate it. It's impossible for them to confiscate it. The only thing that they can do is to put you in jail. But if millions and millions and millions of people, if they make it illegal, it's not illegal right now in most countries. 99% of countries, it's still legal. It might become illegal. Who knows? Who cares? Because at that time, there's going to be a lot of things that are illegal. But I want to still safe bet myself in having that, in my opinion. Because the gold and silver, they could suddenly say that that's illegal too. It's happened before. In 1930s, they said that you are not allowed to own more than so and so much gold. And you have to give up your gold to the bank, and then you've got to get your dollars back from them. That's ridiculous. Why? Do you understand what I mean? That's possible that's possible for it to happen. Now, of course, you can hide it and stuff like that, but if you've got a lot of silver, how can you hide it? It's very difficult when you've got a lot of it, and especially 100 kilos. Oh my gosh, a gold bar, a kilo. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's move on. Talking about getting fired up. Get your motivation right. On this channel, you get the motivation about understanding what your future is, your potential. If you understand your potential of what you are going to be able to achieve once you've understood the masculinity factor, okay? Once you've understood your sexual market value, SMV, and once you understand what family is all about, and you understand 3 girls in love, personally, I get fired up outside my brain. Don't you? Because before, you believed that monogamy was it, but then you kept hearing that monogamy sucks. You kept hearing that the divorce rates, the 50% divorce rates, you keep hearing about guys that get their lives ruined. Their wife leaves off, cheats on him, and then takes all the money, or half the money, takes all the kids, and then you just basically worked years and years and years providing and provisioning, and then you lose it all. On this channel, we teach you how to retain women 100% of the time. Okay, there's no reason why you should ever lose women if you understand female nature. If you understand female nature, you'll always retain her. It's impossible not to if you're doing things right, okay? And in the same way, understanding that monogamy is not it. It doesn't work. It sucks. Okay? So if you understand that, then suddenly understanding that, oh, 3 girls in love, and it's possible, and it's not illegal because you're not getting married to them. Why do you need to get married to them? Okay? You've committed to them, okay? They get the full-fledged man of high value commitment from you, but why would you get married and involve the government into that union when you don't have to? We're living in 2020 when there's no big deal of cohabiting. Let's use that to our advantage in this day and age, okay? And that's understanding and still believing in God, still understanding His purposes for your life, but recognizing that this is the worst time in history to get married. If you don't understand this, then go back and check out my last video, which was 100 reasons not to get married. Okay, fine, 23 because there's no time. Okay, so let's see. Understand this potential. You understand family. You understand 3 girls in love, and that you're not getting that before you've practiced voluntary celibacy and semen retention for a time and built up a massive financial foundation so the financial collapse can bring it on and you're ready for it. Because once it happens and you have safeguarded a family, or maybe you haven't even started a family yet, but by that time there will be tons of women who will try to grab hold of one man and say, please help me, take away my reproach. Have you heard this before? Yes, exactly. And they will come to you, and that's when we establish 3 girls in love properly, exponentially all over the world. It will become mainstream. This is the beginning. We're seeing. Let's see. Okay, we finished with 1. I'm fired up outside my brain. I hope you are too. Let's get to number 2, which is getting rid of distractions. If you're going to get to 10x Bitcoin, I could say 10 Bitcoins. Okay, let's do that instead. If you want to get to 10 Bitcoins, the thing that you need to do immediately is to get rid of distractions. What's distracting you in your life? The number 1 distraction in your life right now is women. Women and PMO. Porn, masturbation, and orgasm. That is a massive distraction in your life. Why? Because it puts your sexuality into hyper gear. You become hypersensitive, okay, to sexuality. And you want it, and you need it, and you're desperate for it. The moment you're on semen retention, you don't need sex anymore, okay? You desire it, okay? You have a massive desire for it, but you're able to control it, and you're able to funnel it into the areas of life where you need a focus, where you need things to progress. You don't need things to progress with women right now because it's a very bad time unless you've got 10 Bitcoin. Do you have 10 Bitcoin? Okay, then it's a really bad time to do that. Don't do it. Stop. No women, no PMO, none whatsoever. It's your biggest distraction. Get rid of it. I know it takes time, and when you've been, locked down into it for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and you now suddenly, over the course of 1 month or 6 months or whatever, need to release yourself from this aspect. It's very difficult. The more, the younger you are, if you've been in with that for like 10 years, the harder it's going to be, right? If you've been doing it for 20 years, then, what's going to happen is that you're probably not going to have that big a deal with it because you come to a point where you don't desire it as much. Your testosterone levels are actually decreasing because you've been ejaculating so much for decades, okay? Over time, you stop working, you stop functioning down there, and you keep watching porn, but you need worse and worse porn. Like, oh my gosh, stop doing it. It's done, okay? We're moving towards masculinity now. We're getting rid of femininity, and the most feminine thing you could ever do is to watch porn. Okay, the most feminine thing you can do, second to watching porn, is wanting to get laid on a continual basis. That's feminine. It's a waste of freaking time because you're destroying these women's lives. You're wrecking homes. Okay, you're wrecking families before they even are established. These women that you sleep with and leave behind, they will end up not having very good marriages. Okay, because most of the guys out there don't understand women. You do when you're connected to this channel. So stop it, okay? we're getting rid of that distraction. Man, that's going to open up your life. That's going to open up your time. It's going to open up your money situation if you simply get rid of it. Okay, now as we know that, it's time for you to get rid of distractions in terms of your parents. It is a huge distraction for parents to tell you what to do all the freaking time. Now, if you're below the age of 18 and you still live at home, okay, I get it. However, in my opinion, if you're still going to school, I would highly advise you to tell your parents to take you out of school ASAP. Because it's a waste of time. Why would you want to be in school and get a worthless education when you can be out there making money right now? If you're below the age of 15, okay, I get it. You're not allowed to work, but you can work online. You can have your own business and work from home. You do 1 hour of schoolwork a day, and then the rest of the day, you're programming, you're learning business, you're learning online, you're learning everything that you need to do in order for you to become successful. If you do that at the age of 12 or 13 or 14, you will become a millionaire by the age of 18 if you follow this channel and preferably attach yourself to coaching. Because if you do that, you're getting mentoring and you will get the same amount of results as a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, a 30-year-old. You don't need experience. You just need skills. That's it. That's the best way to get started. And you're wasting your time at school. Don't go to school. Okay, you're lucky now that the schools are out in most places in the world because of the coronas. Okay, but once school opens again, you don't want to go back. Tell your parents, I'm not going back. I want to be homeschooled. If it's legal in your country, let's hope so. Because then you can focus on making money and getting to 10 times or 10 bitcoins, okay? Getting there as fast as freakishly possible. Schooling is not going to help that. And if you're in college or you're thinking about college, and I'm telling kids between the age of 12 and 18 to quit school, don't you think I'm going to tell you to quit school as well? Abso-freaking-lutely. Don't go to college. The worst investment you could possibly make at this biggest wealth transfer in history in the world. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your future. It's messed up. Don't do it. Rebel against your parents if they tell you, no, you're going to school and that's final. Who flipping cares? You're going to get your parents back once you're rich, okay? They're going to come growling back to you because they don't understand what's happening with the economy, most probably. They're like, oh, don't worry about it, boy. The government is going to take care of us. No, they won't. And if they do, it's because the whole economy is now based on rationing and they're basically standing in lines just like in 1930 or getting the government to come with their delivery boy to deliver food to your door, and it's crap. Okay? That's what we're going towards, man. The middle class is not going to exist. It's going to be poor people. It's going to be rich people. Which one do you want to be? You're wasting time with school, and parents, if they're telling you to go to school, it's a very bad idea. That's when you need to rebel. And if they're telling you to spend time on doing this, and can you do this errand for me and whatever, all that crap, it's a waste of time. Tell them that we don't have time for this right now. I'm fired up outside my brain because I'm preparing, okay? But I don't have time to do menial tasks for you anymore, mom and dad, okay? Unless you get paid for it. Because then you're actually funneling away Bitcoin, take their hard-earned money and funnel it into Bitcoin if they don't believe in it. Not financial advice. Okay, what else can you rebel against? Your non-believer friends. If your friends are saying, bro, what are you talking about, man? Let's go and smoke some weed. Let's go partying. Let's focus on girls. Ditch them. What value are they bringing to your life? Nothing. Okay? Get rid of them. I tell you the truth on this channel. It's politically incorrect. Most people will say, they'll say birds of a feather flock together. They'll tell you that you're the average of the 5 friends that you're with. I will tell you, ditch them. Get rid of it. Over. It's gone. Your friends suck most of the time. You're now starting the masculine journey of being lonely, of being on your own, and only having the community of the Men of High Value channel, and maybe if you've got other entrepreneur friends who think like us, get together with them and spend time with them as much as possible. You need that because you are in essence, since you're feminine, because you still are, most of us are, right? We're progressing to our masculine journey, but until we're masculine, full and through, we are our environment. Okay? You have to realize that. Feminine creatures are environmental. That includes you. So if you have a negative environment, people that are telling you, there are no-sayers, and that are telling you that you're never going to make it, and that you suck, and that, like, forget about that. Join me with this instead. You need to get rid of it. It's stopping you from becoming a multimillionaire and setting yourself up for success. Why would you do that to yourself? Another reason why you should quit school, because at school, there's no one thinking like you. Right? So let's move. Let's get rid of those friends and get some new friends. Don't worry about it. You'll get some new friends. Always. That's what happens. You get some new interests, and this is in the direction you're going. Okay, lastly, in terms of getting rid of distractions, I'm going to tell you, get rid of organized religion. Yeah, I said it. Politically incorrect. Again. Oh, I'm good at it. Organized religion most probably is the false religion. And I'm just explaining it from the standpoint of that which is the truth. Definition of truth, in my opinion, is that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. Your religion is not going to save you, most probably, if it is organized. Now, if there was an organized religion, okay, and I believe that I was part of the only true and living church on the face of the planet, okay, if it was true, it would be working. And I'm talking about it working in your own personal life and giving you the best possible advice and giving you, in many aspects, the advice that I'm giving you on this channel. Does it teach you masculinity? Does it teach you to get rich? Okay? Because if it doesn't, they don't understand Christianity. They don't understand Jesus. They don't understand the whole aspect of things. Because God is all about power. Increasing your power so that the good powers in the world can trump the bad powers in the world. Have you heard the quote, "The triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing"? Okay? The lack of power is the inability to do. The power, the definition of power is the ability to do. If you don't have cash, you don't have power and you can't do good. You got to realize that. And if your organized religion is telling you that, no, for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, it's like a camel going through the needle's eye. I know these scriptures. It's the Roman Catholic Church that changed the Bible, man. You got to understand what happened to it. The definition of Bible is a collection of books. Okay? That Biblia, library. Did you understand where these words come from? It's a collection of books. They were letters that religious leaders, Christian leaders were sending out to people. These letters were compiled. Some were left out because they had them, but some were left out and some were put into this Bible. Great, we got the canon. And then they had Catholic priests copy because there was no printing press at the time. There was just a few individuals who had the Bible and they changed it. Many things in order for it to suit their monetary needs as the national and religion of the time. You got to understand that state and religion was combined for hundreds of years. And so they did a lot of crap. Just in the same way as governments today, where money and state is combined, they've got the monopoly, and so they do a lot of crap. They printing a bunch of money, which they're not supposed to do because the money is supposed to be tied to the gold standard so we know what's what, but we don't. Because of the government. Never, ever trust government to protect you. Okay? It's ridiculous. Especially in these times. We can see it. It's all over the place. They don't have your best interest when they've become as big as they have. Okay? I'm explaining to you, the Bible is not perfect the way that it was supposed and designed to be. And one of the aspects that was taken out is that good men are supposed to get filthy, stinking rich. For the good of the people, for the good of your family, for the good of everyone that's around you, so that you can hire people, so that you can be a good person exponentially. Do you understand? So, just had to say this one because I was an organized religion believer. And it held me back massively and kept me in my feminine, disgusting nature until I figured it out. And until I understood what God wants for me in terms of masculinity. He wants me to be masculine. He wants me to be independent. He wants me to be self-reliant. He wants me to take care of others once I'm able to take care of myself. Okay? And he wants me to get rich. And he wants that for you as well. Let's move on to the next and third step, which is get focused. Now that we've gotten rid of distractions, we can now get focused. Get focused outside our brains. The number one rule of being focused is to get started with your 80-hour work week. No more free time. I'm sick and tired of free time. Okay? It's a day of disgust. No more free time. Let's look at first there's three alternatives. One, you have no cash, which is probably most of you guys, unfortunately. That's just how it is. The more feminine you are, the less cash you have. Because you're spending it all and you're not really motivated to get any. Okay? So that's number one. And then you got the other one, which is you got some cash. Maybe you've got 5K, 10K, half a Bitcoin or equivalent thereof. Or you are rich to some extent. Maybe you already have 10 Bitcoins already. What are the things that I suggest in these three areas of life? And you're probably in one of those boats. Okay, so let's talk about 95% of you guys, which is in the no cash level. This one, you need to start applying for as many jobs as possible. And I've spoken about this on my channel. 50 jobs per day needs to be applied for. 50 jobs per day. You can do that. And don't do it online. Go offline and start meeting people face to face and giving them a really nicely written application. Do it 50 times per day. And if you can, do 100 per day. And if you can, do 200. Think big, man. Get started. Get fired up outside your brain. You don't have time to be waiting around for people to give you a job. You don't. You have to claim it. You have to go in there and say, I really want a job, man. Put a smile on your face and get fired up outside your brain and say, I'm going to learn things faster than anyone here. Within a year, I will be your best employee. No doubt in my mind. Maybe even within 3 months, right? You need to do that. And you need to act as if your unemployment is a job. Okay, the fact that you don't have a job, you should be working 12 hours a day, every day, getting 3 jobs. So that you can get yourself to 80 paid hours a week. So you'll go from 80 unpaid hours a week to 80 paid hours a week. Do you understand what I mean? You've got to get yourself in the mode of making money. Don't be like those unemployed guys that I saw in Namibia when I lived there. Okay, there's tons of poor people in Namibia, and I was there for 9 months, and I was in South Africa for a year and 3 months, whatever, so it was 2 years total. In Namibia, I saw these guys that were standing on the side of the road waiting for a job. And they would stand there for hours. That's not working. That's not getting a job. And they're waiting for people to pick them up in their, in their cars in order for them to go and work on construction. Don't do that. You're probably not going to, do you understand what I mean? You need to go out there and proactively get that job and get it as fast as possible and get 3 jobs as possible. Once you get up to 60, 70, 80 hours a week, which should happen within a week or 2, it should not ever take a month to get a job if you're applying for 100 jobs every single day. No matter how ugly you are, no matter how sucky you are, no matter how socially awkward you are, because if you do 100 applications every single day, eventually your social anxiety will disappear. Okay? One of my clients, he refused to do a lot, but he got 3 jobs within a month anyway. He did like 15 a day, or maybe even less. Like if you average out how many days he actually went out there and applied for 15 jobs, on average he probably applied for 5 or 10 jobs per day. For me, that was less like, oh my gosh, he's not listening to me, but he got 3 jobs. Okay, good job. Within a month. You can get that within a week or 2 if you're applying for 200 every single day. I'm serious. Even in this worst economy that we're in right now. Okay, so if we got that, you're working now your 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Now you need to start your side hustle immediately, as fast as possible, because the goal is to get out of the job as fast as possible. Job stands for just over broke, but at least you're not broke anymore. You have some cash because you're being paid from those jobs. Now you're getting rid of those jobs slowly but surely until you're making twice, 3 times, 4 times more than your job, and there's too much to handle in your business that you need the time to massively exponentially grow it. That's when you quit and you put in your resign application and say, I'm not working here any longer. And that could happen already within 6 months. In my opinion, it should. If you're actually taking daily action on your free time on top of those 80 hours a week in building your business. Okay, in the beginning, maybe you have health problems, so you got to work yourself up. But in my opinion, if you're fired up outside your brain, you are healthy. Trust me, because if that's going to get you healthy, okay? And you're going to get fired up outside your brain to do 30 minutes of exercise every single day so that you get healthy, because you can't allow that to stop you anymore, okay? I've seen guys that lost legs and limbs that became millionaires, okay, with building business. Like, you can do that too, but most of you are not in that predicament. So let's get going, okay? And then you got the other aspect. Okay, so that's if you have no cash. And if you do have some cash, let's say you have 2K, 5K, 10K, whatever it is. What I suggest is that you still keep your jobs, okay? Build your side hustle, but let's say you have a business now. All right? And you've got your business rolling and it's expanding massively. If it's not, then there's a problem and you need to hire a coach. But if it is massively building, this is what I recommend that you do. Hire me as a coach anyway to get the thing going faster. Okay? It's way better to have a few minds working together in order to build your business faster. That's what I recommend. If you have some cash, you have some money, but you haven't started a business yet, then I suggest that, and you maybe would like to become a programmer or be in the cryptocurrency space, because that's one of the biggest and fastest growing spaces in the universe right now, at least on this planet, I would connect myself to joseph.ONTRACC and sign up for his programming courses. I'm serious, man. Like, if I wasn't so focused on basically the coaching aspect and the things that I'm doing in my daily life, I would become a programmer myself. And I hate programming. Okay, like I hate computers. I'm a people person. And usually programmers are non-people people, right? So, but still me. I would become a programmer because once you understand how to program yourself, you can create any business with apps, with this, with cryptocurrency, with boom, 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 boom. And you can hire programmers and you can understand what they're talking about because you've studied it yourself. I would connect myself to joseph.ONTRACC and hire and get those courses as fast as possible. If you don't know quite what you want to do with your life, just get started with that, because that's going to put you in the right direction. In 2019, that was the most in-demand jobs that people were looking for on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a huge platform, okay? And that's the job that was most in demand. Cryptocurrency developers, blockchain developers. That's what you want to be in right now. You will be able to make $200K per month, well, per year, dollars right now in that current space, if you hurry up and get part of it, because there are so few and far between the people who understand this stuff. Most programmers don't understand cryptocurrency and they don't get themselves into it. That's ridiculous. Get started now if you've got the cash. And those courses aren't that expensive from my experience. I think they're like $500 or something like that. But the price keeps going up because more and more people are flocking to it. So get started. Also, if you already have 10 Bitcoin, great. Bro, you're ready to exponentially grow towards 100 Bitcoin. And let's get there as fast as possible before Bitcoin becomes too expensive. So hire me as a coach to help you to move towards that trajectory as fast as humanly possible. If you've got the cash, connect to me as a coach so that I can help you with understanding female nature, so that I can also help you progress in your business, because I understand masculinity and I'm understanding what's holding you back and understand your femininity and the reason why you're not progressing the way that you know you could be progressing if you took it to the next level. Hire me as a coach for that. Okay? I'm cheap these days. I'm extremely cheap. It's ridiculous how cheap I am. But the prices are going to continuously go up and increase over time. Why wouldn't you want me to be your coach while it's still cheap? That doesn't make any sense to like wait until I'm expensive. That's like saying, oh, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, but I'm going to buy Bitcoin when it's 100K instead of when it's 11K or 10K. That doesn't make any sense at all, right? Get started with coaching if you've got the cash, because then we can progress together as a Men of High Value community. We're doing group calls every single week. We're firing each other up outside our minds and moving towards the same direction together. You need a community. We've got it right here. And it starts with the coaching. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. Hope you got so much value out of this. Let's see if there's any comments. And we'll go from there. Let's see. Or just hodl XRP. Yeah, but hodling is not enough. You got to invest. You got to go more into it. Again, no financial advice, but keep going. Don't just hodl. Massively build it up further. Since I've been on semen retention, I've manifested the position to get more overtime at work. How ironic is that? I know. That's what happens. You start attracting good things to your life. It's pretty cool when you're on semen retention. I'm fired up outside my brain, man. You're helping the masses. I really appreciate you taking the time to help us become men of high value. To truly tap into who you are is a gift. Completely agree, man. Thank you so much for watching. Remember these 3. Get fired up outside your brain. That's a decision. That's a decision. Number 2, if you understand this channel, you understand the principles, you will become fired up outside your brain. Number 2, get rid of distractions. Now, it's time. Get rid of it. Work 80 hours a week. Let's go. Okay? And number 3, get focused. When you are working those 80 hours, I want you to focus all of the time on how you can improve the current situation that you're in. If you're at work and your boss is like, he doesn't really care much about you and you're sitting there on your phone scrolling while you're at work, be proactive and figure out how you can make it better, okay? I'm just saying that this is the end. I'll see you guys in the next one.